Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and today we're in the kitchen and we're making your favorite egg rolls. And we're making those egg rolls in our air fryer because we don't want to do the traditional on the stove frying. So I'm going to use my air fryer to go ahead and get that done. Now, before we go any further, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you're notified anytime I post a new recipe. All right, so let's go ahead and get started making these egg rolls. I love using my air fryer to make egg rolls because egg rolls are so versatile. You can put whatever ingredients or stuffing you want in them and they're super duper good. But today we're just gonna keep it simple. We're gonna do a shrimp and pork style egg rolls, and we're gonna totally do that in a jiffy. So let's go ahead and get started. First, what I'm gonna do is I've got here some shrimpy shrimp, and this shrimp has been cleaned and deveined, and the shell has been removed. And I'm gonna put this on a cutting board, and I'm gonna take a little bit of time to chop it up very finely. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna take a knife and kind of just go over it. I'm gonna butcher this shrimp. And the reason I'm doing this, because you'll see when we get to it later, is since I'm cooking shrimp and pork, I like to just put it all in the pot at the same time. And it's just easier to get everything cooked at once if the shrimp is also pretty much minced as well. You see, when you finally chop shrimp, it looks like a bunch of minced mush. That's that. I'm going to place these in my sink and get them out of my way and rinse my hands off. Now that we've got all of our shrimp chopped, we're going to go ahead and get a large skillet and heat that up over medium-high heat. All right, so I've allowed my pan to heat up a little bit, and I'm going to spray just a little bit of oil. I've got some regular olive oil in here. And here I've got about a ½ pound of ground pork. I'm going to add that to this skillet, as well as the shrimp that I just chopped. I'm just gonna throw that in there as well. Oh, it's icky. I'm gonna use my spatula. This is a heat-proof spatula, and I'm gonna go ahead and just cook those together until my shrimp is cooked through, as well as that pork is nice and done. Season it with a little bit of salt, just a little bit of pepper. So you know your meat mixture is done when your ground pork is no longer pink, and you'll see that you'll see your shrimp has basically plumped up and gotten opaque in that mix. And I think this is what I love about ground pork and maybe cutting my shrimp up, is that beforehand like this, it doesn't dry out. Like, it stays nice and juicy still. So I am going to take this ground pork and shrimp mixture, and I'm going to cut my stove off, and I'm going to pour it in a large bowl. Just dump that right in there. Now, if you have fat that's in your pork for whatever reason and you want to drain it, you can. This pork didn't really have any fat. Now it's time to go ahead and build our egg roll bowl. So what I've got here is I've got a green onion, and I'm going to go ahead and chop this green onion to add it to this bowl. Oops. I'm going to throw in my green onions. And then I've got some coleslaw mix, about 10 ounces of coleslaw mix, that I'm going to add in here as well. Just sprinkle that on top. I've got some soy sauce. I'm going to use about ½ tablespoon. Now, be careful with your soy sauce. You don't want to put too much soy sauce in here because soy sauce is super duper salty. Ground pork is a little bit salty, so just be mindful of that. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder, about ½ teaspoon. And then I'm also going to add some sesame oil. I'm going to add about ½ teaspoon of that as well, because this stuff is also very powerful, so you want to be lenient with it. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. and a little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to get a clean spoon and mix all that together. All right, now we get to the fun part, which is the egg roll wrapping. So I've got here a pack of egg rolls. It's 1 pound, usually about 20 something in there. Now, pretty much when you open your pack of egg rolls, what you want to do is you want to get what's called, I call it kind of like a rolling station. So you've got your filling here. You're going to set that to the side. We've also got our pack of egg rolls here. We'll put that next to our filling. And then I'm going to roll on this rolling board here. And I've got a little bit of water here so that I can wet my fingers when I am making these egg rolls so that they can seal better. And then I've got here a clean dish towel that I'm going to use to cover those egg roll wrappers while I'm wrapping. Now the other thing that I'm going to do over here, it's a little bit out of camera shot, but I'm going to use a baking pan just so I can have a place to put the egg rolls after they've been wrapped. All right, so the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our first egg roll. Make sure you've only got one piece. I lay that here. And then I like to grab a smaller spoon. I don't have one. I like to grab a smaller spoon. So this is like a 2 tablespoon thing, but you could use just any old spoon. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you're not putting too much of the mixture in your egg roll wrapper. So you can do anywhere from 2 to 3 tablespoons. I like my egg rolls a little bit thicker, so I'm going to approximately guess about 3 tablespoons. And then what I do is look, see, my egg roll, I had 2 at one time. It felt a little thick to me. It's okay, we're gonna go ahead and separate that. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this egg roll. What I like to do is do it like I'm doing kind of like a thing. So I put that up, pull this back, take this side and go over, tuck it in, take this side and go over here, tuck it in. I don't worry about sealing those other ends because your finger will get really, really sticky. As you can see, I've got this little bit of a flap here, and I go ahead and this is where I kind of put the water here. And I try not to get that finger on the other part of it. And I just go ahead and I roll it up, tucking in where I can to get it nice and tucked and tight. See, and now I've got my egg roll. So again, I've got my egg roll wrapper here. I'm gonna grab about 3 tablespoons of the mix. It's about 2. This one's gonna have a good bit of meat. You don't wanna overstuff it or it's just gonna be really hard to do it. And as you can see, I've already set it up like a diamond. I take this bottom flap, fold it over, pull it back very so gently. Make sure if this egg roll stuff is trying to peep out, just kind of tuck it in there. Take this one flap, put it over there tightly. Take this other flap, put it over there tightly. As you can see, got a little bit of a triangle up here. Take your little bit of finger, put it in the water. Let me show you. Just a little tip of water and just seal it on that part. Try not to use this finger to touch this, but just go ahead and gently roll it up. See that some is just, sticking out, just stick it in there. And voila, you've got yourself an egg roll. So we finished wrapping our egg rolls and now we've got them all lined up on a baking sheet, ready to go in our air fryer basket. This. So I've got my basket here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna preheat this basket first for a few minutes. The only reason why I'm preheating is because for egg rolls from scratch, because of the fact that they are made with I'm not gonna say bread, but some kind of floured mixture, I like to preheat my air fryer when I'm putting stuff like that in it, only because essentially it might give it a less chance of sticking. But sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But all right, so my my air fryer has preheated. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to spray the bottom of this air fryer basket just a little bit. Because again, we don't want these egg rolls to stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and just place them inside of my basket. Not overlapping them, just laying them on in a single layer. See, they're all in there. And as you can see, I've been able to fit in about 8 egg rolls in here, and I'm gonna grab my spray bottle and just slightly spray the top of these things. Get them nice and sprayed. And I'm gonna pop them back into the air fryer. Now, I'm gonna cook those for about 8 to 10 minutes. Gonna check them around the 8-minute point just to make sure that they haven't gotten too brown. Because again, it just depends on your air fryer and which brand you're using, whether you preheat or not. So I'm gonna check on it, but it shouldn't take you longer than 10 minutes to get that nice golden crust on these egg rolls. All right, so I'll be back. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna pull them just to show you how they look on one side. As you can see, they're already nice and brown on one side. And I'm gonna give these a little bit of a flip because they're nice and brown on this side, but the other side, I do want it to get a little bit of that fan from the top love. So I'm gonna put these back in. And again, I'm gonna check on them maybe another 3 to 5 minutes, but definitely not too long because I don't want these to burn. And once I do flip them, I am still going to spray the other side just to make sure that it does have the appropriate amount of oil so that it does get nice and brown and it doesn't get dried out. Got me a plate to put my egg rolls on. All right, so we're gonna head ahead and pull these. As you can see, our egg rolls are done. They're nice and golden on the other side as well. Boom. And we'll go ahead and take these out of the air fryer and let them cool, and then we shall serve them. And I've got my egg rolls here, nice and done and golden. Get in on those. And there you have it. Egg rolls made in your air fryer from scratch. All right, now don't forget to follow along. Key notes to remember about these egg rolls is that they're really, really easy to make. And I love them because they're from scratch and you can adjust the seasonings to your preference. Plus, you get to control the sodium level so you don't have to add an excess of salt. A lot of those egg rolls in the freezer sections usually are skyrocketing sodium levels. You get to control that by using low sodium soy sauce or, not soy sauce, but what is the other stuff called? If someone remembers what it's called, but you can use it as a soy sauce substitute, and I have some around here. If you can remember what it's called, please leave it in the comment section below. Also, the other beautiful thing I love about these egg rolls is that if you make a bunch, as you can see, I still have some that I haven't put in my basket. Freeze those. Oh my gosh, these are so good from frozen. All you have to do is keep them on this sheet. As you can see, I've still got some on this sheet. All I have to do is pop these in the freezer to kind of get them nice and firm as is. And then I can take these and put them in a freezer type bag. And then whenever I'm in the craving for egg rolls, just pop them out and put them in the air fryer. Now, if you're cooking them from frozen in the air fryer, you're going to want to add about additional 1 or 2 minutes to make sure it gets fully cooked. But still about 10 minutes on 400 degrees and you will have delicious egg rolls. All right, I think I've yada enough. Until the next time, bye.